Hello everyone, Absent Friend here, and today, hello everyone, Absent Friend here, and we have reached 500 subscribers. That's right. Gosh, it feels like only yesterday I had 5 subscribers. So this is fantastic, and so as a special treat, I wanted to kind of give you guys a preview of what we're going to do after I finish Disney Villainous. I still have some solo matches to do, and there's a couple other in-depth guides I want to do for the game, and I'll be working on them as well. But this is kind of where the next step is going to go. And so just pay attention, and we're going to take a look at this game right here, Harry Potter Hogwarts Battle, which is a cooperative deck building game which can easily be played solo, but also if you happen to have friends, you can play with your friends as well. So let me get this thing set up, and I'll be right back with you and show you what it's all about. Here we go. it for? Hi, Diego. I know. I know. Poor Diego. Nobody loves him. Nobody loves Diego. Meow. Meow, meow, meow. You just want love and attention. And we're back. As you can see, this is a massive setup, right? I love this board. I love where everything has a little spot. And I've got it set up for the max, which is 4 players, but you can easily just play by yourself. The minimum is 2. You definitely have to have 2 characters to play this properly if you're going to do a solo match. But I've set it up for 4 because it's just nice to have 4. And this is based on every year of the Harry Potter books, starting with year 1, and it goes all the way through year 7. And then there's some expansions that go even further to different things and expand the universe even further. So we're going to go through the proper basic game first, and then I'll work my way through the expansions as well. So as you can see, we're set up for year 1. Year 1, you only have the 2 locations, and I'll kind of go through what you're supposed to do as we go. The 2 locations we have to defend are Diagon Alley and the Mirror of Erised. Any of you Harry Potter fans out there, you know exactly what those things are. And so these little marks here are the dark marks. And I have these up here, kind of off screen. They look like that. And whenever there is a dark mark on a location, you just put it right there. And when that fills up, that location has been overrun with Death Eaters or whatever. And you have to go on to the next location. If both locations get taken, it's game over. Okay? Next to them, we have the Dark Arts. This is every time you start a turn, every character, this is the downside of playing more people, you have more dark arts coming at you. It can really mess you up. But again, the balance is that more players equal more opportunities to have more things. And then for the first year, it says game 1, but I always call them year 1. So for year 1, these are our villains, right? That's really all he had to worry about, kind of, in this game. Of course, we know who is inside this card as well. So they will be bothering us. However, they only come at us 1 at a time. So I'm going to shuffle them up in here in a second. I'm going to shuffle all these except the locations up. The locations are in order. 1 of 2, 2 of 2. So that's the order they come in. Everything else will be shuffled. This is our store. All our magics, friends, items, everything else this is what is going to help us throughout this year. Okay, so I'm going to shuffle those up too. And then each character has their own individual starting deck. Most of them have the same kind of cards, but there are a few that are just for those characters. Neville has Trevor, Harry has Hedwig, Ron has his owl friend Pigwidgeon, which he doesn't really get until a little bit later, but we'll just ignore that. And then Hermione, of course, has Crookshanks. And some individual items and things, which we'll see as we go. All right, so I've kind of designated this as my play area where I'll be playing each hand. And I also am going to put the characters in order. Now, right now, it doesn't really matter which order they go in, but later on in more years, as they get more advanced and get more skills, it is important that they play in a certain order, at least for me. You don't have to play them in this order. You can play them in any order you wish. But I like to go in this order. Hermione, Ron, Harry, Neville. I kind of give them RPG roles. Hermione is the spellcaster. Ron is the item user slash buffer, if you will. The bard, I guess, maybe, for lack of a better. Harry is the paladin, the protector. Neville is the healer. That's usually how I like to play it. So anyway, so let me just kind of speed things up here as I shuffle through everything and we'll get it going, okay? All right. Now, everything is shuffled. That was an ordeal. So one of the bad things about playing solo is that you have to do all the shuffling yourself on every deck. Okay, so don't have shuffling helpers. All right, so before you start, the first thing you have to do is you have to go ahead and build your Hogwarts store, as it were. These are all the cards that you can buy with resources. Resources are these little round medallion-looking things. I guess you could call them coins. They kind of are. But the game calls them resources. They're really coins. But anyway, they look like this. I have them up here in a little bowl. So those are it. You gain those through playing your cards. And they all have different things they can do. We'll go through them as we play. Okay, so as you can see, each character has their own board with their life meter and a little heart token here to show where their lives are. They have a draw pile and a discard pile, and each of them start with 10. And they have their cute little pictures here with little quotes from the movies. And then they have, since this is year one, the game is very nice to tell you the turn order, just to remind you, hey, this is what you got to do. Don't forget. You don't really have to have these cards up here. I just find it aesthetically pleasing. So there you go. Because there's nothing on here that's game relevant, other than just the rules. But anyway, okay, so then we have to reveal our villain. Now remember, we only have to do one villain at a time. So we'll put them right here in the center. Oh, and it's Crab and Goyle. How appropriate. Now they can come out in any order. I guess maybe you could, if you wanted to, put them in movie order. However, that would make the game probably a little too easy because you would know what to expect. It's better if you don't know what to expect. Now these guys have 5 hearts, which means they require 5 of these lightning bolts here that you gain through getting these cards. And after you apply 5, they are defeated and they go here. And everybody gets a reward for defeating them. So there you go. All right. So, oh, and they have a thing that you have to do. You have to resolve as well. Okay. So, shall we begin? I think it's just easiest just to start. I'm going to, oh, you know what? These little tokens here are for, you're actually supposed to use these on the villains if you cast Petrificus Totalis on them, which freezes them and they don't have to do their abilities. However, for this purpose and just to kind of help me stay sane, I'm going to use this to help me on whose turn it is, okay? So it's Hermione's turn. So, oh, by the way, everybody has to draw to 5. So I'm gonna do that real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And everybody needs to have a hand because some of the dark arts can force players to discard hands and stuff. So, or discard cards from their hand, I should say. And it doesn't really, I mean, you can keep them I keep the draw pile face down just so I know this is my draw pile. And also keep it on the draw pile side. But once I have a hand, I kind of put it right here in the middle of the board, face up, just so I know that that's the hand. And the discard pile, of course, will go where it says discard. All right. But yeah, it doesn't really matter because this is a cooperative game. Even if you were playing with other people, you know, it's okay to everybody can see your cards because you're working together. All right, so Hermione will go first. She will get her first dark art, Petrification. All heroes lose 1 heart and cannot draw extra cards this turn. Of course, the active hero will still draw at the end of their turn. But okay, so right now we're already, that hurts. And for year 1, for all heroes to lose a heart, that's bad. And yeah, if you are a big fan of these, a lot of the cards really don't make sense with each year because you don't learn about Petrification until year 2. But that's okay. We'll let it go for now, right? Okay, so Hermione will go first. Oh, we have to also resolve I got to remember to do this. Every time I play this solo, I tend to skip steps. So y'all keep me honest. All right, so we did the dark arts and we resolved it. Now we're going to resolve the villain's abilities. Each time a dark arts event or villain causes a hero to discard a card, that hero loses 1 heart. Nothing. This did not make us discard, which is good because that would be more hearts we have to lose. Now we play our cards and take our actions. Well, there are no actions for the heroes, so we're just going to play our hand here. All right, can we all see that? It's kind of hard to see. Let me make sure we can all see what's being played here. Yeah, okay. So we've got Crookshanks and 4 Aloha Moras. So this is what we get. We get, and you get all this stuff. Now you don't have to play any of these, but you know, why would you not? Well, I'll take that back. There are some cards that you don't want to play. We just don't have them yet. And then I can either, with Crookshanks, I can either gain a lightning bolt or I can gain or 2 hearts. Well, Hermione's only lost 1 heart, so gaining 2 hearts at this point might, sorry, had to reorganize there. Might not be the best thing at this time. So why don't we just go ahead and gain the lightning bolt, and that's what we've gained. Now, if you really like to be organized, you take what you gain and you put it right here in her little bank, okay? And then she is done with these cards. Okay, so they go in her discard pile. All right. And now before her turn ends, now she uses them. So we're first going to put this little thing on Crab and Goyle. And then we have 4 resources to spend. Okay. And so we want something that's going to help Hermione. Now, like I said, Hermione is your spellcaster, your I wouldn't say main attacker, but usually if you're going to get stuff for attacking, you're probably going to get it from her for the most part. I mean, they're both DPS. I mean, really, it's just Harry's the tank, Neville's the healer. These 2 are your DPS, right? Can I use those terms? Are you all okay with RPG terms? I hope so, because I'm going to use them a lot. All right, so I think, because we can, I hate to just buy the one Wingardium Leviosa, but I will say this, in the future games, the more spells Hermione has, the better it is for her and the group. So I'm going to go ahead and start that habit and start getting her spells. So Incendio is 4. So I'm going to put that, and that just goes right there in her discard pile. It gets replaced. Descendo. That's a 5er. Oh my goodness. Okay, so that's that. Now, we will move on to, oh wait, Ron. Oh, so now it's Ron's turn. Her turn is over. She draws back to 5. And there we have it. Now, if some cards let us draw cards, this forbids it. So, all right. So now it's time for Ron. Ron, before we do anything here, we have to reveal the next dark art. Are you kidding me again? Ugh. All right. Purification. All heroes lose 1. And cannot draw extra cards. Well, we probably don't have to worry about that part. Nothing made us discard, so we don't have to worry about them. All right, so let's go on ahead. Okay, so this is Ron's specific item, only to Ron, which is his clean sweep broom, which, again, I don't think he gets until much later in the movie series. I don't even think he has a broom that we see until year 6, but I'm sure he had one before then. We just never saw it. Anyway. And if I'm wrong about that, you super Harry Potter fans out there, please correct me in the comments. I want to make sure I get everything right. And I don't want to make mistakes anyway, because this is going to be quite a series of all the things that you can do with this. All right, so we have, we're going to gain lightning bolt there, and 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so we're going to put these in his bank. We're going to be done with these. Oh, by the way, it says if you defeat a villain, you gain another resource. I won't be defeating a villain this turn, so oh well. A lot of items have that, or a lot of cards say that. There's one that says that too. All right, so we're going to go ahead and put this lightning bolt on these two. And Ron has 4 to spend. So, Ron has a very good ability later where he, actually, no, I take that back. He has that now, I think. One of his items allows him to gain power from allies. So it's a good idea to bank the allies with him. So for 3, and yes, even if you have extra, it's gone by the end of the turn. You can't keep it. We're just going to take Oliver. All right. So we're getting a lot of light cards up here. I think I need to break out my shuffling machine. All right, so Ron's turn is over. It's now time for Harry. Mr. Potter. Oh, and by the way, I will be lapsing in and out of a really bad British accent throughout this, so please forgive me. All right, so next dark art, he who must not be named. We have to add a dark mark to the location. Which is also kind of weird because if you think about it in the books and the movies, in the first few years, bad people weren't really doing that much. They were causing problems, but nothing terrible. But, again, it's, you got to make the game work. So it's actually a game and you still have consequences and bad stuff happening. So we're down a dark mark on the Diagon Alley. There are ways to remove them, but I don't think this year has any of those methods. And if they do, I haven't seen them yet. All right, so nothing made us discard, so these guys are okay. So now, here we go. Now, this cloak is the best thing Harry has in his deck. No matter what he gets here, this right here is probably the best card for Harry. Maybe even for the rest of them. But this is definitely a good one for him. And I'm telling you, there are a lot of good cards in the later games and stuff in the later years. But this one beats all. I mean, but it is a spoiler alert. It is a Deathly Hallow. So I guess you get that. Okay, so I'll go ahead and gain what we need to gain. So we have 2 Alohamoras. And the cloak gives us a resource. We have from his Firebolt, which again he doesn't get to year 4, but again we'll try not to get way down in semantics too much. Now with Hedwig, we can either gain 2 hearts or gain a lightning bolt. Well, you know what? We're going to go ahead and gain a lightning bolt because we're not desperate for health right now. We're at 8, and so I think we're okay for now. If we were in the 6 or 5 range, I would definitely take the health. And you might be asking yourself, what happens if you get down to 0? Well, bad things happen. And whenever somebody gets down to 0, I'll show you. All right, so we're going to go ahead and put let's go ahead and bank all this stuff. Oh, and so now you might be asking yourself, what's so special about the cloak? Well, anytime, if this is in his hand, this is why you have to have the hand ready. And he can only lose more than 1 heart per turn. So I should have made sure he had this before I started losing hearts, but so far it didn't matter. So if there's a Dark Arts event that says lose 2 hearts, or there's a villain that says lose 2 or more hearts, or whatever, he can only lose 1. And there are some things out there that say lose 3, or it says lose 1 plus 1 heart for every other thing, and you could have a whole bunch. If Harry has this in his hand, he only loses 1, no matter how many more hearts it says. Now, it is only per dark art or villain, so he could still lose it quite a bit from each thing. And there's other stuff too, but that's it. All right. Because it does say each villain and each dark art event. Okay, so let's go ahead and put these down. These guys are almost defeated. And Harry has 3 to spend. So he's going to get... Oh, why don't we give Harry the Quidditch gear? Just because it makes sense, right? All right. I mean, he could have taken any Wingardium Leviosa too, no big deal. But there you have it. All right. So get Harry's new hand. There we go. And now we're going to move to Neville. All right. Oh, got to replace the card. Oh, Essence of Dittany. This is something really good for Neville since he's the healer. Okay. So Neville, I must have shuffled these really bad. But that's okay. All right, so there you have. He who must not be named. And so we had another dark mark. We're halfway through the Diagon Alley location. Not good. And we still, oh, wait. What happened to, I don't know why I did that. Y'all saw that, right? I just moved them over there. They're not defeated yet. They might be defeated here in a second. We'll see. All right, nobody made me discard, so they're okay. All right, so this is Neville. Oh, there's his Remember All. And this is a really good item too, because if you have to discard something, you gain 2 resources instead of just 1. So if Neville has to discard and this is his hand, discard this. So you can get more resources out of it. Well, this is an all resource hand for Neville. So 5 resources, right? Okay. So we're gonna bank all that. And for 5, you know what? Neville's going to get these 2 items right here because they both can heal. And later, his healing, when he heals, he actually heals more than what's written. So instead of 1 heart, you get 2 or stuff like that. Oh, there's Hagrid. Yay, Hagrid. Okay, so draw his new hand. And Neville didn't get to take out who's it's here, but that's okay. We'll get them. I'm sure Hermione will get them. She usually does, doesn't she? Okay, so speaking of Hermione, it's your turn. Here's the next dark art. Active hero loses 2 hearts. This is what I was talking about. Harry would have only had to lose 1, right? With that cloak. But active hero, that means her. 1, 2. And that's it. Nothing made her discard, so these guys are meaningless. And let's see if we can take them out. Not this time. Okay. Once again, we have this wonderful time turner, which allows her to, any purchase spells goes right into her, on top of her deck instead of her discard pile. And this allows her to get 2 resources rather than just 1, or all heroes gain a resource. Now, once again, this is why I like playing with multiple people, because instead of 2, you pass out 4, right? So, you know, mathematically speaking, the better option is just to give everybody else 1. I mean, unless she's just desperate to get a powerful card out there, you know, there are rare exceptions. I would always pass out the gain. So Hermione gains 1. You get a coin. You get a resource. And you get a resource. She's the Oprah of resources, right? Okay. Oh, wait, I got more resources to give. And she's still not going to take off these guys, but that's okay. Sometimes we got to build up resources and gain stuff. So she has a total of 5, and so you know what? She's going to get this Descendo right here. And since it's a spell, she can... oh wait, I kind of forgot. I got to remind myself to do this properly, okay? So y'all got to keep me honest out there. All right, so we're going to bank those 5. And we're done with these. Just remember about the time turner. As a matter of fact, I'm going to put that on top just to remind myself, okay? All right. And then, now we're going to do the 5, right? There we go. Whoops. Stay still, Crab and Goyle. My resources, not yours. Greedy. All right. Now she's going to take this, but it goes on top of her deck, like so. Okay? Even though she didn't really have a deck, it goes there. So that's the first card she'll draw in her hand. But before we do anything else, let's go ahead and replace this. Oh, Lumos. That's a great card to have. Anything where all heroes get stuff. It's fantastic. Alrighty. Kind of difficult to shuffle this tiny little deck, but there you go. Uh-oh. That's so difficult to handle sometimes. on. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to break out my shuffling machine next time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. So there's her hand, and we know she will have an awesome. She'll have put out some definite damage next time. We know that. Oh, Ron doesn't have a new hand. Okay. All right. But now you see these? It's at the end of Hermione's turn. She would lose all of them. But everybody else gets to keep theirs until their turn. Unless something here or here makes us lose them, which is very possible. All right, Ron, it's your turn. Dark Art. Active hero loses 1 and discards a card. Uh-oh. This is where these guys come into play. All right, so lose a heart, and we have to discard a card. Let's go ahead and just discard an Alohomora. I'll explain why in a minute. This is what's left. Since, and it's each time, these guys can really be hurtful. Each time a Dark Arts event or a villain, if there are more villains out, causes a hero to discard a card, that hero loses 1. So he's gone down 2. He's down to 6 now. All right, so then oh, okay, so this is what's left in his hand. All right, so he gains, let's do this. He gains the resources here. This says for each ally played this turn, gain a lightning bolt. So since he's gonna get, he's gonna gain a lightning bolt because he's gonna play Pigwidgeon. However, Pigwidgeon can give him another lightning bolt or gain 2 hearts. Well, this one lightning bolt will take out Crab and Goyle. Any other lightning bolts will be wasted this turn. So I'm gonna go ahead and use Pigwidgeon to gain the hearts. So Pigwidgeon gained the hearts. He's done. All right, and so let's go ahead and bank all this stuff. Add it to the one we already have. And we're done with these. And so, first things first, let's go ahead and take out these fools here. So they are now deceased, or defeated. Because they'll be back later, trust me. All heroes draw a card. Like, as soon as you defeat any villain, immediately do the reward. And fortunately, we haven't been petrified, because we wouldn't be able to draw a card. So draw a card for Hermione. Wait a minute. Ron's hand is still active. I always forget about that. All right. So let's go ahead and just... Okay. I always forget about some of these steps. All right. So we're going to... Ron's going to have to reshuffle his discard pile. See, I couldn't reshuffle, since these cards are still technically in play, they don't really get discarded until the end of the turn. So I have to remember that. I may just have to not do the banking part. Maybe that's probably the best way to do it. Okay, and draw a card. Oh, look, the Alohomora we had to just discard before. Okay, Pigwidgeon is done, though. He's tapped. Let's do it that way. He's tapped, he's done. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 things to spend after, oh wait, okay. We have to shuffle all around. Definitely get in the shuffle machine next time. Harry drew. Oh. And Okay. So, I don't know why I'm shuffling these face up. Doy. Okay, and draw. Okay. So, new deck. Oh, here, that's a deck, not a discard pile. All right, everybody has drawn, and now Ron's going to spend his resources. He's got 5, so he really needs, once again, because of that, he's going to get this ally. Okay, new card. It's all spells. Now, Ron doesn't have to get all the allies. It's nice to spread some allies around. It just depends on who they are. But the more allies he has, the better. All right. Drawing up to 5. And we will move to Harry after we reveal the next villain. Who will it be? Who will it be? Oh, it's Professor Quirrell. We lose a heart every single turn. That's bad. And the cloak is not going to help Harry from that one because he only loses up to 1. So he'll still lose the heart. All right, but let's go ahead and do the Dark Guard event. I know I shuffled these. I know I shuffled them. Goodness. Active hero loses 1 and discards a card. So let's just go and discard one of those. So that card we gained before, whatever. All right, and we have to lose 1 from Professor Quirrell. These guys are defeated. Okay, well, let's go ahead and start taking him down. It might be a good idea at this point is to start taking some health if you have the option of taking health. Just because our heroes are getting a little on the weak side, sort of. And we won't be defeating a hero this time, but that's okay. And we have this one extra. All right, so we have this lightning bolt we're going to put on him. And we have 5 resources to buy. Let's actually get this Lumos so everybody can draw cards. All right. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now it's time for Neville. Dark Art. Almost lost Diagon Alley. 1 more. And it's gone. Okay, and he loses a heart. All right. Oh, there's his Mandrake. That's his little item. And Trevor, which we haven't seen yet. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. We're going to go ahead and give Neville his 2 health. And for Trevor, so he's tapped. And then for this card, we gain this and another health. So he's back up to full. And for the Mandrake, we're going to, anyone here gains 2. So let's go ahead and give it to, let's give it to Hermione. Okay. And then the rest is resources. 1, 2, 3. All right, and the one he banked from earlier. So he has 4, which we'll spend in a minute. Kapow to Professor Quirrell. And for 4, he could really use that Essence of Dittany. As a matter of fact, he's going to get both of these. Essence of Dittany and the Wingardium Leviosa. Because that Wingardium Leviosa allows him to put items, like healing items, on top of his deck rather than his discard pile. So that's a good thing for him to have. All right. Okay. All right. So, I always got to check to make sure Harry doesn't have his cloak. He does have his cloak, so I'm going to put that on top. just to remind ourselves of it. Okay, let's replace these. And now we're back to Hermione. What is this? Third round, maybe? I forget. It doesn't really matter how many rounds it takes. Okay, so there's her cards, but first, or that's her hand. Let's go ahead and do this. Active Hero loses 2. Ouch. Thank goodness he gave her the heal. So that was a good call. Okay. And then she has to lose 1 more from him. See, if she hadn't gained that, she'd be down to 3 by now, and she has no way to heal herself. But that's okay. She's about to do some damage. So she gets 1, 2, and 1 from here, and she gets to draw a card. Okay. All right. So she drew. That's what she drew. I'm gonna try to do that to kind of keep it somewhat organized. It's gonna be difficult whenever I have a lot more cards to play with in the future. But we'll make it work. We'll make it work. Don't worry. All right. So, oh, the resources. This is where her special ability would come into play, but she doesn't have it yet. But all these spells she's playing, it works really well. All right, so let's go ahead and put all this heavy damage on Quirrell. And she has, did I do that right? Yeah. She has a total of 5 resources. And so she is going to get these 2. Yeah, these 2 spells. Okay. So that's done. Too bad she didn't have her time turner. She could put both of those spells on top of her deck. That's okay. There's the next hand. Replace these. These are done. And moving on to the next person. All right, Ron, are you going to be able to take this guy out? It would appear to be so. Ooh, this is going to be good. Okay, watch this. All right. Oh, gosh. Active Hero loses 2. And loses 1 more for him. He's going down. All right, first of all, let's go ahead and do the easy stuff. Okay. All right, so we gained everything we're supposed to gain. Now, we're going to go ahead and put this on you. And if you defeat a villain, which this will, any one hero gains 2 hearts. Well, hi, Hermione. 1, 2. Okay. And then now he's defeated. All heroes gain a resource and a heart. Whoops, resources flying everywhere. All right. Okay, so these are done. All right. And they all gain a heart. 1, 1, 1. He's already max. Okay. So that leaves Ron with 5 resources to spend. So let's go ahead and just gain this Descendo for him. So we can deal out damage to our next foe, who we will reveal in a moment. And it'll be our last foe as well. If you remember when the game started, we know who's left. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. All right, so Ron has a new hand. Oh, he'll be able to use the beans next time. If there is a next time. We're probably, well, we'll see. All right, our last hero. Or villain. Draco. Each time a dark mark is added to the location, the active hero loses 2. Which is very, very bad. Because dark marks get added, as you've seen, well, not so often, but quite often. All right, So here's Harry's hand. He has this extra resource that he banked from the previous turn. But first we have to reshuffle these cards. I'm going to move you, Drake, just for a second. Okay. Oh, wrong pile. There we go. All right, so it's Harry's turn. Here's his hand. Everything's ready. Dark art. It's like we just started over. All heroes lose a heart and cannot draw extra cards. Well, nothing gives me that. Nothing. No dark mark was added, so at least that's okay. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and well, I'm gonna gain a heart from the Quidditch gear, so I'll use headway to attack. All right, gain 3 or gain 1 of that, and then the extra that I banked. All right, so let's go ahead and put these on him. Oh, so he can remove a dark mark, but it won't matter because the game will be over when he's gone. And for 4 resources, I'm going to get, he already got a Lumos. Let's get an Incendio. All right. I feel like I'm always shuffling. Probably spend more time shuffling on this game than I actually do playing the game. Here's his new hand. Is his cloak in it? No. All right, Neville. What are you going to do? Looks like a bunch of resources. Let's see if this makes his discard. Nope, active hero loses 2. 1, 2. No dark mark, so you're fine. All right, so he gains 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so that's it. Oh, 6. All right, so it's probably a good idea if Neville, just going to give him these 2 Reparos since he has 6. Okay. Oh, there's another Essence of Dittany. And 1, gonna reshuffle again. Okay. Draw pile. There's the rest of his hand. And okay. And oh, haven't been moving my. We did his turn. Now we're on Hermione, and these are done. Okay, I'm getting a little speedy here, and I've got to slow down. Okay. Hermione, Dark Art. Oh gosh. All heroes can lose a heart and can't draw extra cards. Ron is a little on the desperate side over here, but that's okay. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and let's go ahead and take a chance and use Crookshanks to attack. And everybody's going to gain 1. You get a resource, you get a resource, and you get a resource. Whoops. All right. So there's that. And then That's it. So we're going to put that on him. And these 4 are going to buy... I'm going to give her a Lumos. This goes right on top because of the time turner. Okay. All right, so there's that. That's what she gets to draw. Oh, she had another thing. Wait a minute. She had 5. I would have gotten this anyway. So. I remember to check those banks. Oh, shuffling. It's another bad thing about doing this solo is that sometimes you forget things, but you know, even sometimes when you're playing with other people, sometimes the other people forget things. But that's okay. Normally, whenever I play games like this, I always have appropriate music to go in the background as I'm playing. And I would like to do that here, but I guarantee you YouTube will not let me get away with playing licensed Harry Potter music. So, however, if you ever play this game at home, I highly recommend that you put on some Harry Potter music to go with it. I have all the movie soundtracks, and so I just make a big playlist of them all and start at the beginning, and however long it takes, there you go. Okay. So, what's next? Oh, the rest of her money's hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There we go. Okay. So there's her new hand. And we're on Ron now. And Dark Art. Active hero loses 1 and discards a card. Ron is desperate. I'm going to discard that. Okay. But no dark marks were added, which is good because he could have lost even more. Alright, so we're going to do some damage. Actually, this might finish him off. So let's see. We get 1 from you, 1 there. All heroes gain a heart, which is very good. Okay, and then we gain, since we played this ally, we gain a lightning bolt for the beans. And then we get this resource and that resource. And we get this resource that we got from the last round. And so this will finish off Draco. Remove a dark mark from the location. He's defeated. Finish out his turn. Get this reparo, doesn't really matter. And that's it. All the villains have been defeated. I'm playing villainous for so long, I'm always on the wrong side of the board. Okay, so we're back to being good guys, right? All right, so that's it. This is the Harry Potter Hogwarts battle. So yeah, after I finish up the Disney Villainous series, I'm going to venture back into this. We'll do year 2. Or if I hit 600 subscribers, whichever happens first, I guess. So we'll see. But there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. This is a great game. A lot of fun to play, especially if you're a Harry Potter fan like I am. And you can play by yourself. You can play with friends. You can play up to 4 people. You can play 2 people. It doesn't matter. 2 or 3. If I'm going to play solo, I'm going to just play with everybody because it's fun. And it's kind of... It really works my mind out. It's a good brain workout to try to keep everything sorted. There's a lot of stuff here, but yeah, I kind of dig that kind of stuff. So anyway, this has been, hopefully you guys have been enjoying this. I've had fun doing it. And so I will see y'all next time. This is your absent friend signing off.